In terms of the Pokemon TCG, Charizard has been the anchor for decades. Sword and Shield era has taught us something different. There are multiple cards over Charizard in this era. Is this something to look forward to in Scarlet and Violet? Let's check it out. What's going on, everybody? Travis from Next Level TCG here, and today we're going to be checking out some instances of Charizard Pokemon cards from the Sword and Shield era falling as much as 40 to 45% in value over the last year or so. We're also going to look at cards that have outshined Charizard in this era, and is this a hint of things to come with the brand new Scarlet and Violet set confirmed to release in March. So the first card we're going to look at on today's video is going to be the Shiny Charizard VMAX from Shining Fates. At its peak in January, this card was going for $140. And when I say at its peak, I mean at its consistent peak. Obviously, this card was going for $1,000, $1,200 back when Shining Fates released, and during pre-sales, it was insane numbers going on for this card. But now that we've had 2 or 3 or 4 print runs for Shining Fates, this card is a lot more prevalent than we anticipated, and it is now all the way down in near mint condition in about $93 over on TCG Player in eBay sold listings. Now, in November, when I first started doing research for this video, this card was even farther down, consistently going for about $80 to $82, which was an absolute steal, which is why I think we saw that big influx of people buying this card. But the Shiny Charizard VMAX being under $100 still to this day is a huge warning sign for Charizard fans. The next Charizard Pokemon card we're going to talk about on today's list is the Charizard V-Star Rainbow Rare from Brilliant Stars. Now, this is a card that I don't think anybody anticipating falling below as far as it did. At its peak during release, this card was consistently $150, $160, even upwards towards $180 right around the first couple weeks of release, with pre-sales for this card going for almost $400. Consistently now over on TCG Player, you can get this card for $84. Never in my mind did I think that this card would be under that $100 marker. Consistently, it has actually been around this price for the last few months, and if we continue to see more Brilliant Stars product hitting the shelves, I can see this card come down even further, which really just begs the question, is Charizard still number 1 in all of Pokemon? Now, those first 2 entries of Charizard cards being down about 40% over the last 12 months of Pokemon TCG sales from TCG Player market value. Let's go and take a look at the first Charizard chase card in the Sword and Shield era, and that was the standard Charizard VMAX from Darkness Ablaze. This card was the hottest chase out when it released, and it really was still a card that was extraordinarily desired up until right around the Shining Fates Charizard came out. People still wanted it, but then a few months past that, it started to come down in price to where now you can get this card pretty consistently for about $36, $37 over on eBay and TCG Player, which is much lower than I thought. Never thought this card, when this card was at $50, I thought it was the floor price. This thing was consistently in between $80 and $100 for a very, very long time, for about an entire year. And then it dropped to the $50 marker where it stayed for about 6 months or so. But the fact that it keeps coming down really makes me question the desirability of Charizard as a whole in general. So it is something to think about when moving into the future for Scarlet and Violet, because now we're going to look at some other cards in the Sword and Shield era that really outshined Charizard himself. The first example that we're going to look at of cards that were released kind of as like a pair or a package or a certain type of card are the special delivery cards. We got 3 special delivery cards that are Pokemon Center exclusive cards during the Sword and Shield era. We got special delivery Bidoof, special delivery Pikachu, and special delivery Charizard. Charizard by far being the most affordable of the bunch. Whoever would have thought that? The hype around this special delivery Charizard was absolutely insane, really for years. We were expecting the Charizard to come in 2021, and instead they gave us the Bidoof. I think they were kind of trolling us for a while, but that's just kind of the way that it worked out, I guess, because it really has the same artwork almost as the Charizard that we were all anticipating, but instead of Pikachu on the back, it was Bidoof on the front. But it's weird to look at these three cards and think to ourselves, really, the special delivery Bidoof is the most expensive of the bunch? Yes, the Bidoof consistently is about $250 to $265 over on TCG Player. The Pikachu has never fallen below $100 and is right now consistently between $120 and $150 on TCG Player. And then the Charizard pushing a lowly $30. Now, there was even a point during the special delivery Charizard event where you were able to buy codes to get your own special delivery Charizard from Pokemon Center for like $6. $6 for one of the most anticipated cards for years for the Pokemon TCG featuring Charizard. Now, I know you guys are going to go down there, you're going to go, well, printed to demand, right? One of the reasons why we believe, which there's been no firm confirmation of this, that the Charizard took so long to release is because they needed to print a lot more to demand so that way people weren't completely disappointed during the release, which is why they gave us that Bidoof as like a buffer in between. That's the rumors around it, and it very well could be true. But when you look over on listings and active listings, yes, there's twice as many as there are Pikachu, but considering it's 20% of the value, that's a huge difference. You would think that if Pikachu is $140 and there's twice as many Charizards, $70, right? And the fact that it's Charizard makes it more desirable. Crazy. Do I think Special Delivery Charizard is going to go up in price? Absolutely I do, but I don't know if it will ever pass Pikachu and Bidoof. That's our first instance of Charizard actually coming in last place in this case. So now we're going to talk about the main reason why Charizard is no longer number one, and that is the introduction of alternate arts. We had V alternate arts, V Max, and now we're getting V Star alternate arts upcoming in Crown Zenith. But Charizard forever has really always been the number one card during an era of release. If not, at least number two, something like that. It's always right around there and always the most popular, most desirable. In the Sword and Shield era, it has fallen all the way to number 5 just in terms of the alternate arts. That's right. The Charizard alternate art V is still currently ranked below alternate art Lugia, Giratina, Rayquaza VMAX, and Umbreon VMAX. 4 Pokemon have taken Charizard's crown in Sword and Shield era. Now, you're sitting here and you're going, well, rarity is a thing, right? Technically, yes, but Lugia, Giratina are really about the same type of rarity as Charizard, and they're both V cards. So to see them on top of Charizard is very, very interesting to me. Now, with the Umbreon and the Rayquaza being so expensive, I think there is some strange anomaly with Evolving Skies going on here. There's no reason why Umbreon should be over $500 raw. That is absolutely insane. The Rayquaza, I can totally see at its price point, though. And when you look on how many are available, it's not like there's only 5 or 6 Umbreons or 2 Rayquazas. Like, there is 60 alternate art Umbreons on TCG Player right now and 78 alternate art Charizards. Only 18 more. That is a very low number in terms of rarity differences and value difference. And not only that, but right on the heels of Charizard alternate art, you have Leafeon VMAX, Gengar VMAX, Espeon, Glaceon, the Blaziken VMAX, the Sylveon VMAX, and okay, well, the Sylveon and the Galarian Moltres take about a step down around the 130 marker, where the Charizard is right around like that 175. But you have the other Pokemon that I just mentioned, 5 more of them, within like $10 or $15 of Charizard as well. That is absolutely unheard of. So we have to ask ourselves, why is Charizard really just in the middle of the mix now instead of way out in front like it was back in 2019, 2020, 2018 with the Evolutions reprint and the Shiny Charizard VMAX at the time and the Shiny Charizard GX still bringing in big numbers. Rainbow Charizard. Those cards are far and away the most expensive cards of their era, and here we are in this one with Charizard right in the middle of the pack. My answer to that is Pokemon is focusing more on rarity per set now, as opposed to just putting them across the board very, very similarly, right? So I do actually personally think that with the increased printing and mass printing that Pokemon has been doing, the pull rates are significantly lower for all different kinds of Pokemon cards, not just Charizard, right? And that's what's creating the intrigue of the Lugia V alternate art, the Giratina V alternate art, which has proven to be very, very difficult to pull for a lot of people. I know just as many people that have pulled the Umbreon VMAX as they have the Charizard V, but the Umbreon VMAX has proven to be much harder to pull, especially in these later reprints of the Evolving Skies packs that are hitting these collection boxes and the ETB re-release at Walmart and things like that. Pull rates are down across the board. So seeing these chase cards like the Giratina, Rayquaza VMAX, the Leafeon, the Gengar, all of those is just making them more expensive as a whole and putting them at least on the same playing field of Charizard, if not higher, depending on how much fanfare that Pokemon has around it. Or what I'm also noticing is how much people love the artwork. I think the artwork is playing a massive role here. The only reason that Umbreon is worth as much as it is because of the artwork. And the perfect example of this is go back to the Latias and Latios Tag Team GX alternate art from Team Up in Sun and Moon. You're talking about two Pokemon that are very rarely talked about as favorites or even favorite legendaries. And here they are with one of the top 3 or 2 most expensive cards in the entire Sun and Moon era, simply because the artwork is astounding. It is a beautiful card. And the Giratina, I would kind of say, falls under the same boat. It's a very unique mishmash artwork that a lot of people really, really enjoy. And when you mix that art style with the rarity of the card, it is surpassing Charizard as a whole, especially when Charizard has more of just a battle scene, right? It's not a unique special standout card. It's like, oh, it's really cool that's battling Venusaur, but put that with the uniqueness of the Moonbreon and the Giratina alternate art, and it just falls short. All right, that's it. I'm done rambling about Charizard and my thoughts on Charizard for Generation 9. I definitely think Charizard will come back down to reality, and we will see more of these fan-favorite Pokemon get extraordinarily rare, amazing artwork types of cards that will put them on the same plane. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I love chatting with you guys. Is Charizard still number 1? Is it just slightly number 1, or is the alternate art really going to be taken over no matter which the Pokemon is? What do you guys think? And here at Next Level TCG, we post 5 to 6 videos per week, so please make sure you guys drop a sub and hit the notification bell if you're into that sort of a thing. We have shorts all the time as well. Hit that like button, guys. It really, really helps out if you enjoyed the video. That being said, if you want to level up, you got to be kind and be yourself.